Suella Braverman gave a speech to a US think tank on Tuesday, railing against the 1951 UN Refugee Convention and claiming that multiculturalism has failed in the UK. She was swiftly rebuked by the UN and her figures shredded. Was she going rogue, do you think, or doing Sunak's dirty work?
I think that some, if not all, of this is entirely her own. Some of it is quite remarkable, particularly her comments about gay people seeking refuge. She said that it's wrong that you can claim refugee status simply for being gay. Nobody has ever done that. People claim refugee status for being gay because they are also at risk of being beaten, tortured, imprisoned.
Converted. In scare quotes.
Any of those things.
Well, apparently,
that's what you need to show.
Apparently 1.5% of asylum claims in the UK last year cited sexual orientation.
So it's a tiny proportion anyway. And this is a real risk. Why she's playing it down, I have no idea. In Uganda, a new law was passed in May, which directly allows the punishment of life imprisonment if you're found to be in a homosexual relationship. Suggesting that this is not... the most grave abuses of human rights is bizarre. And actually that is not Sunak's position. So this feels very much like her going really rogue.
You did some weird numbers, didn't she? Because she said that in her interpretation, the UN Refugee Convention gave refugee rights to 780 million people. Currently, according to the UN Refugee Agency, there are 35 million refugees in the world. So it's kind of slippery slope gone mad.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really interesting because she's asking questions, I think, around what is a refugee? And she wants us to have those questions within communities. And we know where that leads. It leads to division and hatred. But it is an interesting question for the Home Office as well, because this is clearly a debate that's going on internally. And if you speak to anyone involved with refugees, they will tell you about the huge difference between people coming from Ukraine and the handling of cases from Syria and Afghanistan. So there is a purely racialized element in that. And to deny it, which I'm sure they would if you called the Home Office. So I think her comments are part of that soul searching that the Home Office needs to do and coming out with some very, very worrying conclusions.
Well, she's far right. I mean, she would be, more suited in a proper far right party than as Home Secretary. What I wonder is apparently Sunak did sign off, Number 10 signed off on the multiculturalism has failed, which is,
Given who she is, that's a remarkable statement.
I suppose she would claim that it's not multiculturalism with her. It's assimilation. Like the idea of multiculturalism is sort of somewhat different. So she's like, well, it's not me because look at me. I hate other cultures. You know what I mean? I'm not multicultural. Yeah. I am a racist.
There's that line where she said the ideal number of migrants is not zero. And the way she said that suggested it was very, very small number above zero. It was maybe 10.
So what is she there for? Like, why is she there? Why is Sunak got a far-right Home Secretary who continues to say stuff which seems to be a weird mix of stuff that's been approved and just kind of freelance stats?
Well, I mean, politically, they were getting close to the who's left argument, and we're in a rundown to what I now believe will be a May general election, because we're going to talk about HS2 later in this show, and just symptomatic of how the whole thing is unravelling at such a pace that there's almost no point getting rid of a dangerously explosive, I suppose, Home Secretary that can cause him more problems at any point. It's just too much work, isn't it?
But she's also freelancing for, to stand as next Tory leader. She's setting out her stall for that.
She's not going to be the next Tory leader.
She may well be.
It's fucking absurd. She won't be. She absolutely won't.
Can we clip this
bit?
We
shall see.
I mean, she's just she's not just far right. She is palpably inadequate and immensely unpopular. Now, that didn't stop Liz Truss.
I was going to say, there's a year ago.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm pretty close to 100% sure that she will not be Tory leader, and you can clip this and use it against me if she is, because that will not be the worst thing that happens to me that day.